Having the right contacts and knowing how to tap them can make all the difference in the high-pressure world of sales. Our next guest says that armed with the right techniques, you too can close big deals on a regular basis. Nick Reed joins us now. His new book with co-author Stephen Bistris is Selling to the C-Suite, What Every Executive Wants You to Know About Successfully Selling to the Top. It's good to see you. Thanks very much for coming in.
Great to be here.
Talk about some of the techniques folks in sales can use to sell at that when they are dealing with folks at the highest level of the corporate world.
Well, you know, selling's changed a lot in the last 10 years, and what we find is that many of the techniques that people used to use aren't working so well anymore. You know, we're in a recessionary period, and when the recession and the economy, goes down, what we find is the decisions go up. So what salespeople need to do is recognize that they need to attract the executive buyer more than they ever did before and understand how to get through the door and how to establish credibility once they're there. And that's what a 10-year study that we completed has brought out the results from, not by going to salespeople to find out what they do different, but by going to C-level executives themselves and asking, what do you look for and what do you value in the suppliers who come through your door?
Decision making is moving up the chain of command, moving
it absolutely
up the ladder, because every dollar is so scarce. Companies want to make sure they're spending their money wisely?
Well, the probity issues, the transparency issues, they want to make sure that if they're spending their budget, that there's value at the end of it. And what we find is that many salespeople whose role has been a value communicator, talking about their company, talking about their product, trying to make a connection to the customer's world, now needs to shift to be a value creator, which requires a different skill set.
So how do you pitch successfully to this audience?
You need to do your homework. You need to hit Google, you need to hit all the information sources, Hoover's, OneSource, other things, to find out what the drivers and issues are that are going on in the executive suite that would cause the executive to be troubled and be concerned, and connect your product or service to those issues in a very clear way that they understand that you're here to help. What executives are saying in the research was, if you're selling to me, bring me an idea that even my own people don't have. That's value.
How has the internet influenced marketing and the sales pitches people might make?
Well, it's fundamentally changed things. In the old days, salespeople had a monopoly of information where buyers needed the salesperson to come to them. These days, the buyers know more about you and your offering before you turn up than you can possibly tell them in 60 minutes. Many times they've already made their decisions about what they are thinking. So the salespeople now need to go in with an approach that is focused on building value to the executive suite, not by talking about their products and services as much as the change that they'll create in the customer's business.
One of the things that I know salespeople deal with on a daily basis is that decision making can take a long time. You've got to keep pounding away at the door without crossing over into being a nuisance.
Stalking.
Right. Can you talk a little bit about striking that very delicate but crucial balance?
Absolutely. What came through from the executives, they said, if salespeople are calling me, trying to cold call me, trying to prospect and pressure me, 4% of the time they'll have success. If they first, however, start to connect to the other people in my organization, people I trust, people with credibility, network with them and get to understand what they can do, 84% of the time they'll have success because they'll be referred up to the executive by people the executive trusts. So networking across multiple months and getting the message right to the right people is absolutely a new critical skill salespeople must master.
Let me just ask you a question about the broader economy and where you think we are. With the Dow crossing 10,000, it's a symbolic, we get that it's just a symbolic threshold if it's anything, and jobs are lagging, we know that as well. Where do you think we are in terms of an economic downturn that's been with us clearly now for a year?
Well, you listen to a lot of the economists and they'll say that we're at bottom and we're on our way up. But here's the thing, if you're in a business where your sales cycle from first call to getting revenue is 6 or 9 months long, if you're not meeting as many people as you were last year, this year, then the dip for you is going to be 6 to 9 months in the future. So I think we're not out of the woods yet. So salespeople really need to understand how to engage at this level and make a huge difference.
Selling to the C-Suite is the name of the book. Nick Reed is the author. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
Good to have you here.